The Goodness of Creation in the Fall of Mankind by Anissa Roshan. For my biblical creator, I chose the Apostle Paul. The Apostle Paul is a great example of what it means to be a creator in the Bible. He didn't just talk about Jesus, but he actually helped start the very first Christian churches and taught people how to live for God in their daily lives. Even when things got really tough, like when he was in danger, thrown in prison, or felt alone, Paul never gave up because he believed so strongly in his mission to spread God's message. There is a verse in Acts 8, chapter 18, verse 11 that says, "He settled there for a year and a half and taught the word of God among them." This shows how patient and dedicated Paul was. He didn't just teach people quickly and moved on, but he stayed for a long time to help them really understand it and grow in their faith. Also in 1 Corinthians chapter 3 verse 10, Paul compares himself to a wise builder laying a foundation. This means he wasn't just sharing ideas, but he was building something strong and lasting, like a community of believers who could support each other. What I really admire about Paul is that being a creator isn't always about making something with your hands. It could also be building relationships, encouraging others, and helping people grow in their faith. What is a noticeable argument provided by the author? The author argues that creativity is just as important as exercising and eating well. What are the emotional and physical benefits of being creative? Being creative can also help us emotionally by reducing stress and improving our mood, and physically making our brain stronger and maybe even boosting our immune system. How am I creative? For me, creativity shows up in different ways. I bake and decorate desserts, which lets me be detailed and patient. I dance to express how I feel and clear my head. And I draw and paint to relax when I'm stressed. All of these help me to feel better inside and out. My greatest creation so far has been the desserts that I've made at home. Baking started just as a fun hobby, but it turned into something I really care about. I made things like banana bread, cookies, and vegan pancakes with fruit on top. And each one took time, practice, and patience. It feels really good to create something from scratch and see other people enjoy it when I make it for them. Baking has helped me to be more focused and creative. Sometimes it takes a few tries to get the recipe right, but the final results make it more rewarding. I'm proud that I made these on my own, and it reminds me that even the small creations can bring others joy and builds more confidence in myself. The Fall of Mankind. Judas. Psalms chapter 41, verse 1. They paid him 30 pieces of silver, and from that time he looked for an opportunity to hand him over. Judas was one of Jesus's closest disciples, yet he chose to betray him for 30 pieces of silver. A kiss meant a sign of friendship, but became a symbol of betrayal. This reminds us how even the closest people to us can hurt us, and it challenges us to think about loyalty, temptation, and forgiveness. Cain. Genesis chapter 4, verse 8. Now Cain said to his brother Abel, "Let's go out to the field." While they were in the field, Cain attacked his brother Abel and killed him. Cain was jealous and angry because God accepted Abel's gift, but not his. Instead of controlling his feelings, Cain let his anger take over and he killed his brother Abel. This was the first murder, and it shows how sin can cause people to hurt others, even family. It reminds us how important it is to handle our emotion in a better way. Eve, Genesis chapter 3, verse 6. The woman saw the tree was good for food and pleasing to the eyes, and the tree was desirable for gaining wisdom. So she took some of its fruit and ate it. And she also gave some to her husband who was with her, and he ate it. Eve made a big mistake when she listened to the serpent and ate the forbidden fruit from the tree of knowledge. She didn't follow God's rules, and then she gave the fruit to Adam. Because of this, sin and death came to the world. It shows how important it is to think before we make choices and trust God's guidance. My greatest fall happened during times when I chose to procrastinate. Even though I knew it would hurt me in the end, I would put off assignments until late at night, wasting hours scrolling on my phone and taking naps instead of facing my responsibilities. I told myself that I had time, but deep down, I knew that I was just avoiding the work. One of my worst moments was when I waited until the last minute for a big project. I didn't ask for help, and I ended up turning in something I wasn't proud of. I felt ashamed because I knew I had the ability to do better, but I let myself down. That moment made me realize that procrastinating isn't just about being lazy, it's about fear, avoidance, and not respecting my own potential. It's a fall that I still struggle with, but I'm working to climb back up from it.